Good morning, everybody. This is AKA Heather Joy, and you're on the lifeboat. Good to see everybody this morning. Oh, oops, let me shut that off. Goodness. I don't want to hear myself. Okay. Let's see. We've got JT and Lemmy Monk. Random Toaster with Rick. Let's see. Did I say Monk? I believe I did. Scooby. What else have we got? You guys are up early. Let's see. Annette. All right. Well, welcome everybody, and good morning. All righty. Before I get started, I had better let you know. First of all, I pinned in the comments. At the top, I pinned the link. If anybody wants to jump on with me, if you need to talk, if you need help, if you just whatever, that link is there. Please use it. You're more than welcome, and you don't have to. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. So don't let that scare you. Anyway, let me run through the rules very quickly. Number one, no politics. We just don't discuss them unless it pertains to the drug crisis, and that's just totally at Tommy's discretion. But please leave that stuff out. Just it tends to get people riled up. The second one, this is not a religious channel. You may hear people offer to pray for somebody, or they might say something like, I couldn't have found my sobriety without my God. Those things are fine. If you get into the territory where you're telling someone they're not getting into heaven, or your God is better than theirs, yeah, that's a no-go. Anyway, the third rule is no cursing. Please refrain from swearing in the comment section. And okay, I apologize, guys. I don't know what's going on with the house internet, but I lost it. So got to get on the phone. I am sorry, guys. I should have had this set up and ready to go in case it happens frequently. I've got to get better internet. It's driving me insane. All right, let me get this set up here. There we go. Okay, hang on. Fix that. Come on, there we go. Okay. Hang on, let me plug it in. Oh boy. This is odd. I usually don't have internet issues this early in the morning, but whatever. Okay, there we go. Now can you guys hear me? Okay. I hope I'm on. I'm ready to go. Let's see. What is going on here? Let me see if I can. Okay. Oh, he's here. Okay. I didn't even see. I'm glad that I saw that. Okay.
Let's see. Come on. Trying to bring Lemmy in. Let's see. Okay, there we go. I hope that works.
Hey,
All right. Good morning,
good
Lemmy.
morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well rested. I saw you're having issues, so I thought I better get in here just in case we lose you. So,
Yeah, I think we'll be okay now. I hope. I sure hope. I apologize, guys. I hate when that happens. Anyway, I was going to talk about meditation today. Sound good?
I'm just going to sit here and meditate.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I want to talk about meditation. There's just so many different ways that meditation can help, especially with addiction. It helps. Oh my goodness, it just helps in so many ways. But um, just getting in touch with your feelings first of all, becoming a little more self-aware. All of that is very helpful. But there's just you can get so much out of meditation. Um, and when I say meditation, probably the thing that you think of is somebody sitting cross-legged, in the lotus position. Yeah, they're doing I can't remember what is that called. I can't remember now. But anyway, yeah, they're sitting like that, and they're meditating. They're silent, and I mean that. Yes, that is meditation, but it also comes in other forms as well, which is nice. There's something specific that they call mindfulness meditation. And that's where you really become aware of your thoughts. And just paying attention as they come and as they go. There's focused meditation, and a lot that is a lot of counting your breaths and really focusing on your breath. There's all kinds of different moving meditations, like doing Tai Chi, yoga, walking. I was reading an article by a Buddhist monk, and he was talking about walking meditation. If some people, I don't like to sit still. I just don't. And I meditate when I run. But I was reading, how he meditates when he walks. He'll inhale, and he will take like 2 or 3 steps as he inhales, and then he'll take a couple of steps and he'll hold it in, and then he'll take about 5 steps to exhale, and he just concentrates on his breathing while he's walking. And it's a very simple thing, but the results, what you get out of it, are rather powerful. There's journaling can be. Look at that. Look at that avatar, you guys. Let me, I love it.
I,
Anyway, um, goodness, where was I? Okay, journaling can be a form of meditation. Prayer is definitely a form of meditation. There's so many ways that you can do it. And basically, um, any activity that brings you peace of mind, if it can be done mindfully, that can be considered meditation. Um, but to be able to get the physical and the mental benefits from it, um, you you aren't required to just sit for hours in the stillness and the quiet. It's not that at all, which is nice. The thing about meditation to get the benefits out of it, it needs to be consistent.
yeah.
And I was reading an article. I stuck. There's a link in the description box. I put in there. There's a link to a website, the Daily Om. It's om as in om. But there's so much good stuff on there. There's all kinds of different guided meditations. There's articles about meditation. There's all kinds of stuff on there. It looks like a really good resource, so I stuck that in there. But if there are also a lot of apps that you can get for meditation. Some of them are for mindfulness. Some of them are just for the breathing. I mean, but there's a bunch of stuff online, as far as the apps. And yeah, there's a lot of great resources out there. And I was reading, I just reading through a bunch of articles that I found there on that Daily Ohm, and it gave a list of some of the things that you can consider meditating. And I loved the first one, dancing in the rain. I love it in the summer when, we get a downpour. I just go out and run around in the rain. It just feels so good in the summertime, and it smells so clean. But I mean, that can be considered, if it's something that is, that you can do mindfully. Running, I've told you guys how I run. A lot of times I'll get a mantra in my head, and every time one of my feet hits the ground, I repeat another word of the mantra. And sometimes I just go running, and I just let my mind go, and I'm just conscious of the thoughts that come in and the thoughts that go out, and I just kind of let my mind wander, but I just pay attention to, whatever comes and goes. It's very relaxing, actually. Petting your dog or your cat can be considered meditation. Oh my goodness, crocheting and knitting. If anybody out there likes to knit or crochet or do needlework, you can do that and meditate. I used to do, I think it was in 2016. I learned how to knit, and I joined this knitters group, and I was knitting socks, and I mean, just all kinds of things. And I was blown away at how relaxing it was. I mean, really, that it's definitely a form of meditation. I was blown away at how much it helped. And this was when I had first stopped taking all the antipsychotics that I had been prescribed. And so it was quite an adjustment. And so it really, it was very helpful for me to be able to do that. And I haven't picked up a knitting needle in probably 4 years now. I don't think I could remember how to knit socks anymore. But, for a time, it really, really helped me. Like I said, I've talked about prayer, different art forms. There's so many things you can do, painting and drawing, and goodness, there's all kinds of things out there. But, if it's something that you enjoy and it brings you peace and you can be mindful about it, again, meditation. I was thinking of, Tommy spending all that time fixing watches. That's got to be a form of meditation for him. That's got to be. Cooking, even taking a shower, or, soaking in a bathtub, yoga, gardening. That's one of my favorite ones too. But both my husband and I, between the running and working in the garden, that's like our me time. And yeah, a lot of solace out of both of those. And again, journaling. I mean, there's just, what's really nice about meditation is, you can take what you enjoy doing and turn it into a form of meditation. You can make it work for you. But, that's really nice. But what differentiates, all these activities that I just listed, what differentiates them from just being daily activities and actually being meditation is that you are focusing on the present moment. That's what you're trying to do, instead of worrying about the future or, thinking about, your past, and ruminating over that. This is bringing you to the present moment, and it's very helpful. As far as, like dancing in the rain, if you are, taking notice of how the water feels when it hits your skin, in the smell of the air that, or, if you're petting one of your pets, the sensation of the fur, or in my case, the feathers too, because I pet my chickens all the time, but that sensation, what it feels like on your skin, that's being mindful. Let's see, or have you ever, if you have a significant other, do you ever pay attention to your breathing sometimes and notice sometimes you actually breathe in sync? I mean, that's meditation, But, focusing on the present is what makes these mundane things, meditative activities. And, like I said, there can be almost anything you can turn into meditation. So, what type is right for you? There's, oh my goodness, there's so many different types. If you've never meditated before, it sounds like a very simple thing. It takes practice at first. I know when I do guided meditations, I love to do Joe Dispenza. He has a lot of them on YouTube. And I've found some really good ones that I like of his. But when I first started doing it, I had to do the shorter ones that were just, 10 minutes long, because it's really hard to rein your thoughts in and start to, focus within, focus on your breathing and listen to him. It takes practice. And so I was reading one of the articles I was reading was written by a yoga instructor. And her suggestions were, you want to make it a regular habit, if you've never done it before. And the best way to do that, she suggests maybe joining, going to a yoga class or doing guided meditation classes. There's lots of online videos. There's lots of different platforms like the Daily Om I was just telling you about. There's all these apps. There's all kinds of things out there that but it's a good start to to do something where you are receiving guidance from someone else and you're getting suggestions. When you do that, it can help you feel a little more confident in starting meditation. It helps, and also if you're going to a yoga class or something. I've done that. In fact, I was thinking about this earlier, years ago when I used to live up in northern Utah in the Ogden area. There's this incredible bookstore. Was it The Thought Continuum was the name of it? But they had a big back room where you could take the books back there, and they had tables and chairs set up, and you could get coffee and tea and whatever, and just go in the back and read, or you could go visit with people. But I think it was just once a week, but they had this guy that would come in, and he was a hypnotist, and he was qualified in a lot of various different kinds of mental health help. I can't remember everything he used to do, but he would come in once a week, and we'd all meet. We'd put the tables and the chairs away, and we'd pull out these mats, and everybody would lay down on the floor, and he would put us through a guided meditation for an hour. And first of all, he'd start out with just working from head to toe and relaxing your whole body before he would start into the meditation. And there was always a purpose behind the meditation, but oh my goodness, they were incredibly restful, restorative. I don't know. It was very, very helpful. And I wish there was something like that around where I live. I kind of miss that. I'd forgotten all about it. Now that I think about it, it'd be perfect right now. But anyway, it's a good idea too, if you've never done meditation too, to try out a couple of different forms of it and see what is going to work for you. And anyway, that this instructor also suggested that rather than just simply trying to meditate for a set period of time, don't worry about the time. What you want to pay attention to is doing something that you enjoy. That's what you want to pay attention to, because if you're going to enjoy it, that's more likely you're going to make it a habit. And you've got to the meditations, you need to do them. I don't know, at least once a week at least, but it needs to be a habit. It needs to be repeated to be able to start getting the mental and the physical effects that are so good. I just wrote a note in here. Whatever enables you to clear the clutter in your mind and focus on the present, that's a good indication, that meditative activity is going to work for you if you're able to do that. And meditation really does, it bridges the connection between your mind and your body. And it's that is very, very helpful for your overall health. There's specific things it does physically and mentally, and it really helps conditions like chronic pain, depression, anxiety. I took a big course on dealing with chronic pain, and it came with 5 different volumes, and one of those volumes is completely about meditation, and it's got all kinds of good stuff in it. But I mean, it's a really big deal. It went, anytime I read about chronic pain, I come across that where meditation is very helpful for that. And there's a definite correlation between how you feel about yourself and the number of steps that you are willing to take to improve your health. And so, if you're willing to try meditation, that's a good indication that, you do care about yourself, you care about your sobriety, and you're willing to do something about that. And this yoga instructor I keep talking about, her name's Mira Watts, and I wrote down a quote that she said. She said, "By meditating, we may access the most powerful elements of our minds. If you firmly believe in the art of meditation, you will observe its effects." And there are 10 proven health benefits that you get out of meditation. And I'm going to go over those here in just a minute. First, let's see. There's another lady that she's a psychotherapist. She's based out of New York. Her name is Lindsay Schaefer, and she uses meditations. Sorry, my cat's doing weird things over there. Sorry. Anyway, she uses it for her clients. She's the psychotherapist, but she insists that they do some form of meditation as part of their treatment. And she can't say enough good about it. And I just wrote down a quote that she said here. She says, "Meditation is a positive way to improve your overall health. And it absolutely has the ability to change the way we view ourselves and our world." I mean, that's pretty powerful. It's a simple thing. When you get down to it, it's a simple thing, but it really can help. And physicians are starting to prescribe meditation for their patients, especially patients that are dealing with chronic pain, PTSD, a lot of anxiety, things like that, the pain management especially. But, doctors are realizing the benefits, and they're actually prescribing it. I thought that was really cool. And there's this study that was done, what was it? Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center. I don't know where it is. I forgot to find out where it was, but they did a study there. And what they found out was that mindful meditation was more effective than the placebo control group in reducing pain in the participants. So all the participants were dealing with pain. And the control group didn't do anything. But the other one, used the meditation, and they saw a huge difference in, the control group versus the group that did the meditation. Anyway, this integration of the mindful meditation, into mainstream medicine, I think it's a really important change. And it's a good one because, first of all, it's free. You can do it for free. You do it on your own. It is, basically it is simple, especially once you get the hang of it. It's a non-invasive treatment. And I think that, doctors starting to use it in mainstream medicine, I think it gives a little credibility to meditation, where a lot of, hopefully, you guys will be, if you don't meditate, you'll be willing to try it. Let me just go over the reasons why it is so helpful.
We actually meditated in martial arts It's a way
Oh,
to
wow.
clear your mind. You have to decompress when training, and also
Hmm.
if you've been injured, it is a good way to get that pain out of your mind by doing the meditation. And also when I was in college, I did take yoga, and shavasana, the when you're laying down,
Hmm.
that's the most restful place and restful position you can have. They just turn down the lights a little, play a little soft music, and just clarity comes to you. So this is really good. I love the idea that we're talking about meditation.
I think I just feel it's important enough that, I needed to bring it up. And I love that you guys, I've never done any martial arts. I'd forgotten that they do that. The gym where I go, they have jujitsu uh, several nights a week. And I'd forgotten that they meditate before they start. I'd forgotten all about that. So yeah. And you're right about pain. It is very helpful. I'll explain why here in just a minute. Um, but the first big benefit that you get, um, it eases anxiety and depression. These, if you're practicing mindfulness, it has been shown, if you practice that mindful meditation, it reduces the cytokines in your body. Cytokines are basically an inflammatory stress chemical. And if you've got excess cytokines in your body, it I'm not sure how it causes depression and anxiety, but it does. They know that it does. And that psychotherapist Lindsay Schaefer, I wrote down something else she said about meditation here. She said meditation has the ability to help individuals cope with the symptoms of anxiety and depression, including negative racing thoughts or even body tension and discomfort. And it's done through self-awareness alone. I think that's huge. That's a big deal, that it causes a physiologic response. I think that's awesome. The second thing, benefit of meditation, it bolsters your self-confidence. Meditation, it has the power to allow people to connect with their true selves. And, I think that's exactly what addicts need, especially if you're at the beginning of your sobriety. You're not happy with yourself. I remember not really knowing who I even was at the beginning. And I know when I was in rehab, we did a lot of guided meditations, and they were very helpful. I found a lot of help from that. But they really do. They help you connect with your true self. It takes a little bit of time, but it really does help. And it also it raises your self-awareness. It raises your confidence. It helps, with self-inquiry, when you are looking inside and you're trying to figure out, who am I and what are my goals and what do I want to do? That takes a lot of inner reflection, and mindful meditation really, really helps with that. And there's another lady, let's see, she was Sarah Watts. I keep mixing them up. She was the yoga instructor. Okay. She explains here, um, by giving us a sense that we are in control of every situation, meditation assists in boosting one's self-worth. And I thought about that for a minute. And she said that it gives you the sense that you are in control of every situation. And of course you can't, there's many times you can't control the situation. You can't control what's going on around you, but you can control how you react to it, or how you respond to it, I should say. That does give you, if you feel like you have some control, you are more confident, and I can see how it definitely would help. But the research behind that actually shows that meditation can create something that therapists call non-judgmental awareness of the self. That is something that, as addicts, we really need that. We need to be able to look at ourselves, look at our past, look at our issues, but do it in a kind way. You need to be gentle with yourself when you are trying to correct all of the things that you have messed up through your addiction. But that non-judgmental awareness of the self, where you acknowledge, your strengths, your weaknesses, all of that, it heightens your resilience, your emotional resilience. And I think that's something all of us need today, regardless of who you are or what your issues are. I think everybody, just the way the world is, we definitely need some serious resilience right now. It's not an easy time. Number 3, the third one, let's see, meditation reduces stress. And I mean, there's so many studies on that. I didn't even pick one. I just kind of looked over things generally because there's so much information, so much research that they've done in this area. But, meditation indeed does reduce stress. And it lessens the effects of chronic stress on the entire body. That's a big deal. Physicians are finally realizing the long-term effects that stress has on people, and, it creates so many autoimmune disorders and mental issues. It's a big deal. And I know they're putting a big emphasis now on stress reduction. I'm just tickled that mainstream medicine is acknowledging all of that now. But anyway, not only does it reduce stress, but it also it lessens your reactivity to difficult or stressful situations. There's a difference between just reacting versus responding to something. And if you are meditating, it can help you, it kind of helps you to recognize that there can be a space between, a stimulus. When something stressful happens to you, there's that stimulus. It helps you to kind of slow your thinking down enough that you realize you don't have to have a knee-jerk reaction, that you can be calm about it and you can pause for a second and think about the proper way to respond to something. I hope that makes sense. But this meditation is very, very good for that as well. Rather than reacting, freaking out for something, you can pause and make a conscious choice of how you want to respond. I mean, there is a big difference between those two. And it also suggests too that when you reach a point where you've got to pause and make a conscious choice of how to respond, it suggests taking a few deep cleansing breaths, because that will kind of reset everything in your brain. And if your flight or fight has been triggered, if you have been meditating, you have quite a bit more control over that. And it can become where it's not such an automatic response anymore, that fight or flight response. Anyway, the fourth one, meditation reduces inflammation. This is a big one for me, and I really need to start meditating a heck of a lot more, because I battle chronic inflammation constantly. It gets old, but anyway, stress will lead to neurogenic inflammation. This can lead to things like arthritis, colitis, where you, I know that anytime a person is under significant stress, the first places you're going to see that are on their face somewhere, some way, somehow, and their stomach. because there are so many nerves in those areas. That's a good place to look for indicators that you're under a lot of stress and it's starting to affect your body, is if you are noticing, maybe a twitch in your face, or maybe a mark that wasn't there before, or if you are having a lot of nausea and diarrhea, that seems to be part
Yep.
of the stress that you're under. Meditation can definitely help that. Also, bladder inflammation. I had totally forgotten about that one. Have you ever noticed when you are very stressed out, you've got to pee all the time? It's because of you've got generalized inflammation throughout your body, and it will affect your bladder. The inflammation will cause it so that you have to pee all the time. It's really irritating. Asthma is another problem that can be induced by stress. And all of that happens because of the same cytokines that I was talking about before, those stress chemicals. They not only affect you mentally, with depression and anxiety, but, all of these things that I just listed, those happen because of the cytokines. Meditation reduces that inflammatory response, reduces the cytokines and everything. That's huge. That's why one of the reasons why they suggest, for people that are trying to manage chronic pain, that's a big reason right there why they suggest, using meditation. But I'll touch on that again in here in just a minute. The fifth one is it really improves your sleep. Meditation, once you get the hang of it, it can really quiet your mind down and relax your body. So it becomes very, restorative. And, once you can slow your thoughts down and your body can relax, then you're going to be able to, sink into a deep sleep. And, there's a lot of research behind it. And I wrote in my notes here that even in people suffering chronic insomnia, meditation improves the sleep quality with consistent practice. It's got to be something you're consistent at, but you have to practice consistently mindful meditation, but it can lead to improved sleep. And, in my family, almost every one of my every one of my siblings, we all have issues with chronic insomnia. It's a big problem. I need to, especially my poor brother. I feel he struggles so badly with sleep. I need to let him know about meditation, and I think it could really help. Anyway, the sixth one I have here, it improves your brain health. So, Tommy, I really hope you're listening to this one. It has been shown to potentially be a tool that can be used in preventing Alzheimer's. I mean, there's still a lot of research, a lot of studies going on right now on this very thing. But everything that they have seen so far points to that using meditation can help prevent Alzheimer's or reduce the severity of it. It also will improve memory loss, and it will lengthen your attention span. And I know for a lot of people, just because of our phones and, everything that's available on Facebook and YouTube and Rumble and Locals, and there's just so many places to watch little clips and things, and I mean there's so much of it, and it's just right there in your hand, in your phone. Our attention spans really start to get shortened, and it was when I first started doing live streams with you guys, that first week was kind of rough. I really had to force myself to get in my head into the research and keep it there. And, it's gotten much easier, but it was a challenge the first week. And so I know, attention spans, that's a problem for everybody. But I love it too, that it says that, it's been shown to help with memory loss, that it improves that. That's something that I struggle with too. There's been just chunks of my life that just simply aren't there. They should be, but they're just not there. And I don't know. I deal with, chronic depression. It seems like I'm always in a cycle of depression, somewhere. And when you are depressed, you don't have the dopamine that you need. And dopamine also plays a role in your memory. And so that could be a big reason why there are just chunks of my life I don't remember. But I've also been, and I keep bumping this and shaking it, but I've had shock therapy. I don't even know how many times, at course after course after course. And that has really, that's supposed to, they always tell you, it's just a short-term memory problem that goes away. I never struggled with the short term. It's the long term. There's just things that aren't there. So again, I really need to start meditating more, hopefully that'll help my memory a little bit. Let's see. Also, what they found out with your brain, meditation impacts your gray matter. Now, your gray matter is responsible for all of the information that goes into your brain, and it regulates the information that goes out. Your gray matter is a big deal. And what they found in research too is that long-term meditation practice, it's consistent. It lessens the age-related gray matter atrophy. Atrophy is just when things tend to shrink. And as we get older, our brains do get smaller. We lose some of that gray matter and that tissue, and our brain tissue just declines with age as well. Meditation lessens those age-related issues. And it really does. It gives you an overall slowing of, these age-related effects on the brain. So, Tommy, meditate. Anyway, the seventh one is meditation can help curb addiction, guys. That's a big one for us. And I was looking, there was so much information on this one. Research over the last 10 years shows that mindfulness meditation reduces substance abuse. It helps people self-regulate and break harmful habits. I mean, that's what the research shows. It also creates a new type of reward-seeking behavior to replace the old one, because addiction is definitely a destructive one. And meditation can create, new ways of reward seeking. But I thought that was really cool. There's so much research that has been done, regarding addiction and meditation. And trust me, that's what the research shows. It helps. The eighth one I have here, this one is addressing pain specifically. It eases pain. Consistent meditation practice, allows you to be aware of the sensations that you have in your body. That's mindfulness, when you're paying attention to what is going on in your mind and your body, the sensations that you have. And so if you are experiencing pain, meditation allows you to look at pain in a different way. You look at it as something that you can manage. You don't, you can look at it. If you look at it as something that you have no control over at all, it honestly tends to be worse. And that meditation helps frame your mind in a way that you can look at pain differently. And for some reason, looking at it as something that you can deal with and that you have a little control over, it lessens the pain. I don't understand it. It's just, that's what it does, though. That's what the research shows. But just to get a little more technical about this one, I wrote here in my notes, mindfulness meditation impacts multiple chemical and physiologic aspects of the brain, and it can provide significant reduction in chronic pain. it does something chemically. Oh, let me jump off. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, it does. The research shows it does. It provides significant reduction in your chronic pain, and that's because there are chemical changes, physiologic changes in your brain from the meditation. It definitely helps. Let's see. The ninth one I have here, it can help control food cravings. If you're craving things that really shouldn't be eating, the sugar and high fat and high salt, when all of those are combined together, that's when that's when food is really bad for you, when it's a combination of those three things together. And I know when I was in rehab, the first little while I craved sugar. Like, it was unbelievable how much I craved sugar. And we did do some meditation, but man, I should have, if I had known, all of the benefits, maybe I would have done a little bit more. But I did do a lot of cooking for everybody else there because I wanted something sweet to eat, which, as all of the patients there at the rehab where I was, we did the cooking. So yeah, I ended up cooking lots of cookies and brownies and things. And I packed on a few pounds, probably about 15 by the time I left rehab, and that is a problem when you're trying to recover from addiction. Things like that, cigarettes and sugar and processed, highly processed carbohydrates, things like that. You're going to crave them. It's just what happens. And this is one way you can help control that. Or if you have, for people that have a binge eating disorder, or they eat, they're emotional eaters. This is where, meditation can really, really help. It really does lead to having more control over the cravings. And what it does is it helps you tap into your body, the way your body works, as far as recognizing the signals your body gives you when you're full, recognizing the signals that your body gives you when you're really hungry. When people are emotional eaters, or they're binge eaters, that really gets being able to sense those things that gets really messed up, and meditation can help bring that back. And so if you're able to pay attention to, hey, I really am hungry, versus, am I just eating because I'm bored? There's a big difference. And if you can recognize those, that's huge. Let's see. It also, the other thing it does, as far as food cravings, is it helps you recognize the triggers that might set you off to where all of a sudden you're craving foods that you really shouldn't be eating. It helps you identify what those triggers are, because you are becoming more mindful and you're paying attention to those things. Now, the 10th thing is that meditation will decrease your blood pressure, and there's a lot of research on this. Excuse me. Okay, meditation can relax the nervous signals that contribute to your blood vessel tension. If you have high blood pressure, it's usually because the vessels, your blood vessels are constricted a little bit. They're the vessels, they are constricting. And that is going to put the pressure up. Also, if you have atherosclerosis, where you're getting, that scarring and the collection of cholesterol and things in vessels, That kind of tends to make your vessels harder. And if you don't have the flexibility in your blood vessels anymore, that will bump your blood pressure up as well. But there's been a lot of clinical research in this, and there's still a lot going on, but there's a definite link between meditation practice and lowering your blood pressure. And I'm sure for a lot of you that'd be huge. Blood pressure, you really want to try to keep that under control, because you can get some nasty headaches. It can damage your kidneys, can cause a lot of issues. And I know a lot of people that don't realize, that if they have high blood pressure and they don't realize it, it can be kind of a silent killer. And a lot of times you don't even realize until the damage is already done that you even have high blood pressure. But this, that's another way. If you were already on blood pressure medication, meditation is a good thing to add to it to help control that. And it helps with stress too, and when we are stressed, our blood pressure tends to go up, our heart rate tends to go up, everything tends to go up. Just in conclusion, meditation really does have the power to change your life if you use it. If you try it, you do it, you make it consistent, you're going to feel and you're going to sense the benefits of it. And in our lives today, things are so chaotic. And sitting down and doing some form of meditation, or going for a walk to meditate, whatever way you choose to do it, it might seem like it's kind of inconvenient. It's like one more thing I got to do. But just the way that the world is, the way things are going with our economy, just all of the different issues, I'm seeing people are snapping. I mean, just losing it, and it concerns me. And so I think this is a good time to get into the habit of meditating frequently, because you're going to experience all of these different benefits, but it's also a chance for you to clear your mind for a minute and just be present in the here and now, and and just be in tune with yourself and with your body. Let's see, I wrote down a quote and I didn't write down, darn it, I didn't write who it was, but I wanted to read it to you. It just says, meditation gives people an opportunity, even sometimes an excuse, to just be in the moment. We quiet the mind, and in that moment, it is like stepping into a waterfall that washes the stress away. Our bodies and our minds can suddenly take a long, deep breath, and we feel better. And I'm guessing that quote must have come from Mira Watts, the yoga instructor. I'm pretty sure that was her that said that. But I loved that it gives you permission to just be in the moment. Seems like I'm always rushing. I'm always worried about, okay, what's the next thing I got to do, and the next thing, and the next thing. And I'm always looking forward, seems like. And it does get stressful, and it does make you feel tired. I really need to make this maybe a daily practice of meditating, where, I just clear my mind and just be in the moment, because it's very, very helpful, very healing for your body, for your mind, for your spirit. It's a good thing. And even though it's a simple thing, it's not necessarily easy. I know I said that before, but it takes practice, it takes consistency. And that, doing that requires a little bit of self-discipline. But guys, it's definitely worth it. And, I do meditate, but I definitely am not doing it enough. I think I'm going to try and make it a daily thing now, because I need it. I need it. Anyway, that is all I had. Oh, wow. And we've got 5 minutes left. So, Luke Skywalker's here, and Cheryl, and Cody English. Now, there is There's a name I haven't seen before, so welcome, Cody. Scooby, John, Annette. Who else? I don't want to miss anybody, but and of course Lemmy was here, and thank you for jumping on, Lemmy. That was very, very sweet of you. I don't know if I have. Hey, was Charlie here this morning? Is Charlie here? That was odd yesterday, not having Charlie Mullins in the chat. It was just odd. I'm sure he was busy at work, but yeah, I don't. Okay, M Hunt is here. Did I say? Yeah, I already saw Rick. Oh, JT's here. Dennis Brace is here. Random Toaster. Yeah, okay. If I missed any of you, I apologize, but I'm so glad that you guys were here. It's early. And yet you guys get up and you listen to me rattle off. So thank you. You guys, I hope you have a really good day. You know, if you guys are struggling, the best thing. Oh, did someone try to hang on here? I see another person tried to jump on, and oh, it was just let me. Oh, okay, I see it. Okay, sorry guys. Anyway, if you are struggling, you know, please, you know, reach out to those people on your list of 5. You know, if you don't have your 5, my email is in the description box, and I'm behind on my email, guys. I really got to check it today. So if you sent me something and I haven't responded, I'm sorry. There's so much going on right now. I will get to you, but you know, reach out, and you know, and don't be afraid either to offer help to somebody. You know, that's why we're here. We're here to help one another. Addiction, you know, getting out of addiction and maintaining sobriety is a difficult thing. It's not easy, you know. It can be done, and I love it that the success rate that the lifeboat has compared to everything else. You know, I'm excited that we have a better success rate. I think that's wonderful, and it is. I know Tommy has said this before too, but it's you guys. It's the crew. It's you guys. That's what makes the difference with everybody, and it's a wonderful thing. And I'm just so tickled that I found the lifeboat. Love it. I love getting to know you guys. I'm really enjoying doing these live streams. Right now it's a lot of work some days, and I owe my husband a ton of thanks because he's picked up all the slack, because I've spent a lot of time doing research, things like that, and yeah, he's really picked up the slack, and yeah, love that guy. Anyway, if he's listening, sometimes he watches. So if he's listening, thank you, my dear. Anyway, you guys have a great day. I don't know if it's me again this evening or Tommy, but somebody will be up in 11 hours. So you guys have a great day, and thank you. I'll see you again soon.